righty, we are back, and we got a special one today. We alluded to this last week, but we got a little bit of a we got a birthday boy in the building. Slim, happy birthday, baby!
Thank you, Devo, and happy belated birthday to yourself. You had one just the other day, just yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah. So I know we hit on this Scorpio season last week. So my birthday was yesterday. Slim's is today, and Adam's Thursday, right? Bones Thursday. Wednesday. Oh wow, even closer. Awesome.
I can say the Cosmos is lucky that my birthday fell on a Monday.
Yes, we're all very lucky. Awesome, guys. So we had a jam-packed weekend, birthdays. We had a little bit of a celebration we call Applebee's Day, which we won't get too into the weeds on that, but it's kind of just an annual get-together for all the guys. So we learned a lot of things during Applebee's Day, right? And what is that? Subscribing to podcasts is very easy. So thank you to everyone that came out and clicked subscribe. That was an easy thing that you did, and we appreciate that. And Slim, we were talking yesterday, and I know you have one birthday wish, and that birthday wish is every single person that is watching this episode, please subscribe. That's all he asks. It's all he's asking for. All right, but honestly, enough of that. Let's jump into this. And guys, the Juan Soto rumors might be on their deathbed at this point, right? Juan Soto, the Phillies. So we like to, geez, that Nitty acting wild.
They're deciding they're going to fight tonight. This time.
All good. But so we're going to touch on our Juan Soto to the Phillies prediction. This might be, again, the final one based upon the way things are going. We try to lead off with the hottest stuff, and that might be slowly transitioning. But all that being said, I just talked a lot. Slim, last week you were at 3%, which was stable. Where are we at?
0%.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm at 0%. I was just about to ask you, when do we go to the funeral director? Do we do it now, or do we wait till the winter meetings that are coming up in a few short weeks here? If you're paying attention, it seems like the decision is going to be made December 8th to December 12th. That's the window that's being thrown around that I've seen that was shared with us. The strongest pitch that maybe this is my little ego system, but it seems like the Red Sox are making a super strong pitch out of left field here. It's funny that I say left field because Soto could probably smash them off the monster there and smash them into the other side of the field there, right field. It's a friendly hitter's park. I have Red Sox as the favorite.
What?
Okay.
And the Phillies at 0.
Okay, interesting. Bones.
Well, just in the last hour, we got a new update that Soto is taking some more meetings this week. Dodgers are up next. This is from Mark Feinstein.
Okay.
Feinstein, or whatever his name is, for MLB.com. And the Phillies and Rays are also going to be on there. But the Rays are likely to be done out of the get because they ain't going to have a regular field for a couple years. That the Trop just got torn apart by the hurricane. So they're going to be playing at the Yankees minor league stadium. So
yeah,
they're going to put a ton of money out there, not making no money there. That's only holding 15,000 people. And I don't even think they get that on a regular night. But the Phillies, I'm lowering my percentage. Sorry about the dogs. I'm lowering my percentage to like 15%. But I'm keeping it there because why else? If they didn't think they could have a hand in this, I don't think they would have having a meeting. This is the first time we heard the Phillies going to have a meeting on this.
Yeah, that's breaking news. That's breaking news.
This is. I don't know. I think even though I'm lower, I was going to go lower, but now that I got this, I'm giving them a 15% shot. And the Mets coming in, you got Carlos Baerga saying the Mets' first offer was 12 years, $660 million. So
Wow. Wow. So that's I'm glad you hit on that because again, that's pretty hot off the press news. So you went from 25 to down
I
to
was at
15.
30, right?
You were at 30, but then last week you went down to 25.
125, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go down to
Okay.
15.
All right. Well, 15 it is. Mark down.
I was probably going to be 5 until this stuff came up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus, that dog's gonna drive me crazy here. These headphones. So, as far as who he has met so far, just to recap that, Red Sox, as Slim hit on, the Blue Jays, the Mets, and the Yankees are soon to be expected. Bone just broke that news. So with that being said, I was at 1% last week, and I'm going to stay right there. Okay. So we're going to stay at 1%.
The truth is, what's the pitch for the Phillies? Nothing's changed. They're going to go buddy, bring in Schwarber, Harper, and Turner. And if you look at the parallel pitch, that only pitch I know about is the Boston one. They went with the whole Dominican flair. They brought out Big Papi, Pedro Martinez, and that just is a lot cooler than Harper, Turner, and Schwarber.
Okay.
And when we add the Rays, like I said, I do find it shocking that we're getting a meeting now. Two things. You think about it like with recruiting of high school kids, right? How much time putting the sodas does that take away from other free agents? I would like to know. Maybe it's nothing. I have no idea. We're going to find out a lot more because we're going to be in the weeds this winter with the meetings. But I'm hoping it doesn't take time. I hope it doesn't take us away of the real action of free agents we could get. And the second thing is adding the team just muddies the field. It's a mirage. Nobody believes he's going to the Rays. So, I mean, I know the Phillies are willing to spend. We did get the guys that buy in. We shall see, though. I'm more excited about opportunities that might be more feasible, but we can get to that whenever.
And we're going to get into that right now. Thank you for that. Teeing that up for me there. So things got hot and escalated quickly in the Alec Bohm sweepstakes, right? So Jeff Passan of ESPN, basically, the #1 reporter in baseball these days, he put very, very bluntly, Alec Bohm is on the trade block. So, guys, that being said, are we surprised? We've been talking about it, but did it how'd it feel to just hear that bluntly like that, Slim?
He's as good as gone. Now it becomes an issue of value. 3 weeks ago, we were saying, comparing him to other Phillies that were potentially on the block. I thought for sure he would bring back more value than other guys. I still think that might be the case, but I'm wondering if I'm wrong and his value is really not that great. I'm interested to see what this looks like. But no, I think Bohm is as good as gone.
Bones.
Yeah, not surprised. We've been talking about it all year, and basically what AJ Pierzynski was saying, a bit like he had to change, like his attitude was like he had to mature. We talked about it. I called him a big baby. Could have used other words, but I didn't. So yeah, I think he's going, especially, and I think I brought Bregman up in like our first or second episode.
You did. Yeah, you were all over that. And you teed up the AJ Pierzynski quote. I got that right here. This thing cracked me up. So he said on the Foul Territory podcast, there are some people, again, this is regarding Alec Bohm, there are some people around that organization that aren't huge fans of the way he acts sometimes. And I'm just going to leave it at that, which cracks me up because that's not where he left it. And then he says, there are some people that have said he basically needs to grow up a little bit. He got benched in the playoffs. If you remember, Game 3, he got benched. It had to do with both underperformance and immaturity. So Pierzynski did not leave it there. He dug that blade even deeper. What do you guys feel about him kind of breaking the code and being around the team and then releasing that? I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
It is interesting. I didn't give it too much of a thought. I just thought he was playing into his little persona. He's a broadcaster now, but he also has this foul territory. Even the name there, foul territory. So you see more so with the NBA players.
Yeah.
But you're seeing baseball, and baseball is trying to build a social media presence, right? They
You
need
you
that's
hit
one
you hit on
reason,
it.
right? So I thought it was great.
Great.
I'm all
Yeah.
in. If you're a former athlete, especially very recently removed, and you're going to be throwing shade or just commenting truthfully, as long as you're being authentic with it, I'm good with it. I don't think AJ Przinsky was. I don't think he has any issues. I feel like he was telling the truth there. And I think what saves it for me is number one, underperforming when he got that benching, right? So you can be immature, you can be a baby, but if you would have been driving in runs, getting hits, we're still going to overlook that. So I'm happy he went full. He kept going, like you said, because he did say one, underperforming, two, the maturity issue. Because it's real annoying when you're losing and then you got whiners and crybabies.
That's
Yeah,
for
I don't
sure.
mind it. I would have had a problem with it if like he brung it up during the postseason, like during that game. But
Right.
now I think it's open season. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he got that information from somewhere, and it
Oh
from
yeah,
somewhere
no.
to put out there, like someone's feet, like how he always, like Jeff McLean always reports on the Eagles. We know how he's his guy. He's getting reports directly from the source. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and I think it's perfect timing with this Bregman stuff coming out.
It is. So is this going to be an out with the old in with the new scenario, right? So per Buster Olney of ESPN, he said a rival, which I thought this was the interesting aspect. A rival evaluator predicted that the Phillies will land Alex Bregman, which that's great news for us, right? Slim, what do you think about the rival evaluator aspect? And try to say that 5 times fast. Jesus.
I noted that, and it makes me give it like less. Like it seems, because who knows what their motives are.
Right.
But I love the idea for it. I'm in on getting Bregman. The question I'm at now is, like you said, out with the old, in with the new, bring in Bregman. What does that trade look like? Because we were sitting here for last week arguing Aiden Miller. Since last week, our second prospect, who I got him as number 2. I don't have any big boards, but my number 1 would be Painter, and 2 would be Crawford. Crawford had that jack in the some kind of USA tournament, it looked like. So I'm not sure what's the deal for Bregman. I know it's not one of those two. Because then secondly,
He's
I
a
think
free
we're
agent.
still
Yeah. So
who is? Oh, so
Bregman.
there's no trade.
No.
Yeah, that's even cleaner then. So Bregman's a
Oh, that's
free
even
agent.
better.
But so that's why it's super sweet, right? Because
Yeah,
you're
you just got
essentially
pay him.
signing Bregman, right? And then you're trading Bohm for whatever you get for him. So
I think he has the kind of approach that fits perfectly. I think his personality fits perfectly with the guys we already have on this club. Like when I say Schwarber, Harper, and Turner might not be able to pitch Soto, I do think Bregman fits in perfectly there, right?
where do you
The
think
other point,
Bregman would bat? Where do you think Bregman would bat, assuming Bohm's out of the picture?
I think I would bet, I'm assuming around 5th.
Okay.
And I think that adds a lot more depth to our lineup. And I think it's going to add more pop. I think he
Definitely
has a
more
better
pop.
approach and a little more pop compared to Boom.
So if it all depends on what they're doing with the
It's
lineup.
an
Like if
unfair question.
Schwarber is going to
Totally.
be leadoff and Turner's sticking at 2, Harper 3, I would go Bregman 4.
Okay.
That's where
Castellanos 5.
Bregman at 4 was where my mind originally went to. But again, completely unfair question. We don't know what other pieces are going to move. I just figured swapping Bohm out, putting Bregman in, where will we put him? I think 4 makes sense. Bregman's a close to 30 homer a year guy.
But
Definitely, yeah.
if they decide to go Turner at leadoff, then you go maybe if Stott's here, or no, scratch that.
Stott can't hit, man. He can't be
Turner,
anywhere near the top of the order.
Turner, Harper, Bregman, Schwarber.
So Bregman 3.
Yeah, and Harper 2.
I like that too. Yeah, I mean Bregman that would be awesome. Bringing him, that would be awesome. I'm
There's a lot of
concerned.
protecting Harper, and then you got somebody to protect. You got Schwarber to protect Bregman.
Yeah, and Bregman can field his position, right? Like we don't have to be kind of clinching every time the ball gets hit over that way. And I know Bohm got a lot better, but still, you know, you have those past scars that you can't get over. Bregman kind of heals that. I don't know. I'm skeptical that he doesn't want to retire an Astro. Been there for his entire career, and obviously they had a great run. I mean, he has the same agent in Boris. I feel like Boris is running the entire. I mean, no surprise there. I think that makes it a little bit more interesting, right? Because Boris has his finger on the pulse on everything, so he's going to really jack up that market for him. I don't know, guys. So
I think he's done in Houston. I think that's like
you do.
Foregone conclusion, yeah.
I would look to see what was his numbers like last year. I do know he was a monster for years there. They were winning World Series.
He had a down year last year.
He had a down year last year.
But his playoff numbers are, compared to Bohm the last couple of years, are...
He's a grinder.
Are pretty
they're better than Bohm's.
Yeah, way better than Bohm.
Right. So, yeah. When we start talking about that lineup, though, I like Bregman, because I know he had a little bit of a down year. If I had to go back, I bet you he was batting around that 5th, 6th hole for them last year. So I would like to probably keep him in the 5th spot. I don't think we're ever going to see Schwarber as low as 4, because they want to make sure he's getting close to like 5 at-bats because of the home run potential, I would say. With that being said, 1 and 2, what I just said, the number 3 says, even if we get Bregman, it kind of looks like an incomplete lineup still, right? Looks like they're going to have to do something else.
Yep. That's
we'll see.
That's where the Suarez rumors, maybe to Houston, come in a deal for Kyle Tucker.
Oh, another big dog. So we're taking Houston's 2 best players, huh?
No, Alvarez is by far their best player.
Yeah, Alvarez.
I'm kidding. But close to it. Tucker was a beast. Tucker was mid-season. I'm not going to say in the MVP combo, but he was like a top 8 player in the AL at one point, or batter. He was killing it last year.
We take Bregman and we trade Suarez and boom. And some prospects. We'll get Tucker.
No complaints there.
And I still like the idea of getting the pitcher from the White Sox, because I think we can sign him and then still trade, and that's 2 upgrades, 1 and 2. I think we look a lot, and then we're, like we said, we're one more move. If you want to move Suarez, go ahead. I think I'd rather hold on to Suarez. What the Tucker trade would be, Suarez and who?
Boom.
You're speculating Bohm.
Yeah, I'm just throwing.
So Slim, and we'll transition over to you guys.
Did you see the other one?
What was the other one?
Did you guys see the other trade that was on Twitter? It was Bohm to Seattle, Crochet to us, and White Sox getting prospects. That works for me. And then we signed the 3rd baseman.
3-way deal.
A nice 3-way deal.
Yeah, I love that.
And
going back to what you were saying on Suarez. So I want to know kind of where your mind is and why you want to hold on to them. And by the way, I love Suarez, and my wife will kill me when she listens to this because it's her favorite player. But he's her favorite player, rather. But my thing on Suarez is I don't think he's ever going to be that guy that he was the first half of last season again, right? So from a value standpoint and from a contract standpoint of where he's at, I think this might be the hottest he'll ever be trade piece-wise. I could be wrong. I guess I want to be wrong on that, right? So with all of that being said, and with kind of where the team is at, like organizationally, I think right now is the time to move him. If we keep him and he does great, hey, that's awesome. But I've been giving that a lot of thought, and I do think that right now the time is the trade Ranger if you're going to trade him. So where are you at on that, guys?
My whole thing, it all depends on. All right, we're getting somebody like Tucker back. Absolutely, I would love to have a player like Tucker. But right now, I'm going to be real consistent with two themes. And the first theme is I would like everyone to be a plus on defense, and it doesn't really seem like we're going that route. So I'm not going to stay on there. But the second theme is going to be pitching, pitching, pitching. If we hold on to Suarez, he's someone, like I said, he's going to be able to, even if it looks ugly, give us 5 innings, kill a lot of innings to get, because we know we have a very strong chance to be back in the playoffs. So we want to get there healthy. We have guys, Nola, Wheeler. These are 200-inning guys. They're veterans. They're going to be tired. The other guys, we all love Painter, but he has yet to pitch. He's someone who's, I know we kill other potential trade prospects for us who have Tommy John surgery. Wasn't Painter injured as well? So now we're going to be bringing in younger dudes in a playoff run, and they're going to be putting on a lot of real stress on their arms. I'd rather them be able to have a little bit more leeway. And if Suarez is good, great. You don't have to rush anything. You can keep him in that rotation. Ideally, I can see us having 5 to 6 strong starters. And I think
where'd you land on that? On the Suarez now or never kind of mindset?
So I think this is last year arbitration coming up.
That is correct. He's a free agent next year.
So it's right now he's got the offer's $8.1 million. He either accepts it or they go to arbitration, which I don't think he really has a case to where he's going to get any more money than what he's getting. Along with Bohm, like Bohm went up last year, and it was like a pretty big jump for his like where he's at like contractually.
Correct. He won.
So I don't think Suarez goes in. This is where you trade him, and then somebody else can go get that extension. Because if the Phillies were going to keep him, they would have gave him the extension that Sanchez got, as I said last week. So I think you go get his value now. And now there's like another report out that Jeff Hoffman might want to go to be a starter.
Yeah, I've been saying that. I mean,
but what about what Dombrowski said? We basically had a huge slump in the second half because we didn't have a 5th starter. Now you guys potentially are going to be okay getting rid of someone who's going to be a decent, serviceable arm, you know? And then who are we replacing that with? Now are we down to 4 dudes and one guy being Sanchez? How confident are you guys in Sanchez?
Pretty confident based on what he's done the past couple of years.
The truth is we're going away from having just 3 bulls, right? In the beginning, I said we had Nola, Wheeler, Sanchez, and having more diverse arms. So do you guys want to play that game that we had this year with the 5th starter, with the bullpen guys? It got ugly there in the second half.
So
they weren't good.
We'll talk more about this moving forward. And then my last thing I was just going to say on that, because that's a good point you just made. The only way that I'm moving Ranger is amongst all the moves that we make this offseason, if we go into the season with 5 arms. So just to be clear there. So I'm not going to your point, I don't want a question mark at 5 and then you move Ranger.
Who's the last pitcher we signed? Was his name Walker? That was the last judgment pitcher we signed. So be careful what you wish for.
You're not wrong there. So on that Taiwan Walker note, let's transition to in the kitchen, boys.
Yes.
Let's get Bones, let's start with you, since we just heard from Slim there. What do you want to hit on this week here? I'm going to let you cook on this one.
So, hold on. I had my...
Get your notes prepared.
I had it, and then I clicked out of it because I was looking at something.
All right.
Were we going to talk about the Rookie of the Year?
We can talk about whatever you want, baby. This is your time.
I can talk a little Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year. Dead against Paul Skeens winning Rookie of the Year. Great pitcher. Came up in the middle of May. Jackson Merl was there all year. 90 RBI, 160, and he was my pick to win Rookie of the Year. So yeah, I'm pissed.
And when he came
when
up, he was great
his
right
team
away.
his team made the playoffs. They were on a great run. He was a big part of it, stealing bases, getting on base, creating havoc. That's what you want. Paul Skeens, what did the Pirates do when he didn't get any better?
Well, I mean, first of all, I agree with you. So I think this is one of the we're unanimous on this one. And it's funny because we were talking over the weekend, and you were counting that win already with Merrill thinking he was going to win. My opinion,
Popularity contest.
Popularity contest. My opinion, and I'll bounce it over to you, Slim. I'm pretty sure the reason Skeens won popularity contest. They're really trying to push him, and also the fact that he was so high in this Cy Young as well. That really pushed him over the edge for Rookie of the Year. Just one man's opinion.
Yeah, I just want to say Jack Merle, he's pretty good all year. And if you go back to the Dodgers and the comments they made, they talk about how strong or how weak the Yankees outfield was defensively, positioning wise, and how strong San Diego was. The rookie Jack Merle was a part of that. On top of the base running, 24 homers, as Bone said, and 90 RBIs is no joke. That's a true two-way player. You can guarantee yourself that the Padres are probably going to be in the mix again this year. With that being said, yeah, I'm not they're making it hard for me to be a fan of Skeens out in Pittsburgh. As soon as he comes up, and I get it. Baseball, sometimes I have to remind myself there's still a lot of kids that watch this game. I'm watching a child's game, so I got to slow my roll. So I think it's one of those things. They're building up this generational star for the Young Bucks. Because even look at that home plate deal. Did you guys see that? The 1-for-1. The Pittsburgh Pirates are offering. You have his rookie card, the 1-for-1, the first edition of 1-for-1, I guess.
The top
you can have 30 years of behind home plate season tickets. However, nobody will want those. Or very few people will want those compared to the value of the card.
So here's another conspiracy theory that I got. That's why he won it. Because now that he's won Rookie of the Year, he becomes eligible to be a free agent after the 2029 season. So he is all them years where he doesn't have to go through the arbitration. It would probably extend 2 to 3 more years because he granted full year service in the majors, where they just held him up from getting that year of service so they can hold on to him longer.
Right.
Everybody did the same thing to Garrett Cole. He's went on to the Astros. Now he's with the Yankees. He's just there to stay there for a little bit and build up their shit organization for the next 5 years, and then they can retool. They're just going to use them. They're not going to make the playoffs. So whoever gets that card, I want to give it to them because they're not going to see this kid pitch anyway.
It's a good point.
Next 5 years.
It's a really good point.
100%.
Slim, what was your topic that you wanted to dive into on this segment?
My topic is 6-man rotations. Right off the bat, I'm going to make a bold prediction. I think in the year 2025, we're going to see the defending champs, Los Angeles Dodgers, use a 6-man rotation, just not here and there, but throughout the season predominantly when they have the arms ready. On top of that, I think they're going to repeat as World Series champions. So if you want to if you want to fire up the FanDuel apps, I have yet to do it, but I'm going to be looking at the World Series odds for the Los Angeles Dodgers. The reason I bring up the 6-man rotation is going back to the Phillies. I would love for us to grab Crochet from the White Sox and then bring Painter up and have him to be that last guy for 2 reasons. If we had to do from the White Sox, if we had Painter, now we can have less stress on their arms while also having less stress on dead arm Wheeler and Nola, who've been throwing 200 innings pretty routinely now for us. I think it's beneficial for us all together, and we've seen other teams do this. This isn't a brand new thing. It's not just a timely thing.
I'm going to let Bones dive in because I let the listeners know the reason I laughed at the beginning of this. there was a big off-air argument between Slim and Bones on this, so there's a lot of heat behind this. So this might get a little this might get intense. But you're missing one, in my opinion, you're missing one thing, and there's a lot of truth to the sports science aspect of your argument. But there's going to be a lot of pitchers like Zach Wheeler, for example, who are not going to want that extended rest like that. So that's something to think about. But again, Bones, what do you got?
So I just don't think, like, he doesn't even know who's going to be pitching for the Dodgers. The list he had sent over, half the guys are free agents and won't even be on the roster. Talking about Walker Buehler, Jack Flaherty. The other guys are all hurt. Tyler Glasnow, Tony Gonsolin.
The worse your depth
Bobby
is,
Miller
the better
stinks.
you off are going to it, too. So you're already seeing the Phillies might not say they have a 5-man rotation, or a team might not say they have a 5-man rotation, but then they'll have a bullpen game. So that, I mean, it's not the same, but they're already leaning towards that way. So the better, more, and smarter teams. And I was thinking about it. It doesn't even matter if you had the arms. At first, I was saying it's a luxury. It's not even a luxury. If you have a crappy team, you're better off having 2 bad guys at the back just to break up just to break it up, you know. So and it adds that depth. And historically, because this is what we really got into, teams have done it before. Right off the bat, 2021 for the full season, Seattle used it. Okay, Seattle has a lot of arms this year. We might be making a trade with Seattle this year. Don't be shocked if we trade Bohm and we don't get the guy from Chicago, but we get one of their arms back. If we get Gilbert, I'm not sure what's going on with Castillo, but there's other dudes out there too that might come back to the Phillies. But they did it for the entire season. How did they make out that year? They won 90 games and they missed the playoffs, but they were in it within that weekend. Obviously, the Angels did it for a few years. They were Ohtani. Japanese league, the entire Japanese league is 6-man rotations all the time. They have way less injuries than the MLB. There's more, and here's the best one. The Mets.
That's why they come over and they suck, half of them.
I haven't seen not the ones.
That much.
Ohtani doesn't stink. Darvish doesn't stink. The Padres did it for a little bit as well. The Mets in 2015 did it, and they did it with old heads. They had at the time Harvey, right? Harvey was an old. I'm not sure if he was old, but he was an injured man. So they were looking out for Harvey. And that was Rom,
he was high too.
Whatever it was. And even you can go and look at their coaches. The coaches and managers have quotes where they contribute the pitchers having better stamina due to the 6-man rotation. The Astros, the Mets in 2015 went to the World Series, if you forgot. 2018, the Astros did it for a big portion. That's when they had Verlander, Cole, as you mentioned, and Morton. They won 103 games that year. Yeah.
Trash games.
That's all.
Too.
I think we're going to see more of it.
We'll keep an eye on that. Hey, look, a lot of research put into that, so thank you, Slim. Let's open some packs. Slim,
let me go get them.
Open that pack. All right, while you're doing that, I'll hit you with a couple of quick hitters here. Congrats to Bryce Harper on a Silver Slugger at first base. Congrats to Zach Wheeler on first team All MLB. Congrats to Andy Painter on Pitcher of the Year in the Arizona Fall League.
Yeah, pretty good. They had a few All-Stars, Griff McGarry.
Yeah.
I don't know who the other guy was.
The other gentleman, his name escapes me. He's been there we go. We'll get to that. But let us open some packs.
All right, we're going to get a winner in this birthday pack.
Is this the year?
Birthday pack.
All right, this guy, again, I'm going to say good or bad. Riley Green, pretty good. I'm going to mess his name up. Trevor Larnach, pretty good, right? Pretty good. Abner Uribe.
Okay, will this be the week?
Any relation to Juan?
Shane McLaren.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Yo, he's a good pitcher. He had Tommy John surgery. Good pitcher. Someone to keep an eye on this year.
Sounds good. I'm going to keep an eye on him. Someone who I don't think is any good anymore. DJ Matthew, no good anymore, right? Not as good anymore.
He won Silver Slugger last year, not this year.
Not this year. Jack Flaherty looking to make himself some money this offseason.
Free agent. Talking about him going back to Detroit already.
Here's another guy who kind of fell off. Jeff McNeil.
Jeff McNeil. Guess what Jeff McNeil did this year? He flew out to Andrew Painter in the Arizona Fall League. Fun fact. Keep going, Slim.
Cool. Oh, okay. Suzuki.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Mike Moustakis. No
The Moose.
Phillies again.
No
No
Phillies.
again. I
He was
know.
retired.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's
He
it's
even
getting.
played it here. He's got a podcast. Him and
Wow,
Jeez.
I really thought this was going to be the week.
That's
Listeners,
where I
this
heard
is
the
not
George Brett
fixed.
shit in his pants story.
That story was ridiculous. All righty. This is our subscribers' favorite section of our show here. We have a really good question this week, two quick ones. Actually, one not quick one. So this is from Steve via email. So bear with me here, guys, because I want to give him his credit because he put a lot of thought into this. Hello, gang. Long-time listener, first-time emailer. Presuming Soto is out of the equation, what does an ideal Phil's offseason realistically look like? I would love if we somehow ended up with Kyle Tucker, Crochet. Man, you would think he watches our show. Bregman, and bullpen pieces. But curious to get your guys' opinion as the MLB's hot stove heats up hotter than a Bunsen burner in a Vince Toner classroom. That's a North Catholic reference. I'll hang up now and listen. Steve. Bones. I know that was a lot. What do you got?
Can you read?
So yeah, basically it's kind of an all-encompassing. What does your ideal offseason look like? Steve would love Kyle Tucker.
okay.
Crochet, Brett. Yeah.
Definitely a Bohm trade. I would get Bregman. I said that in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And then get stack the relief pitching. We need relief pitching. That was our hurt piece. Get the guys that we already got. Kirkering. We already got Alvarado. We already got Strom there.
Mm-hmm.
Bring back Estevez, and then build around them guys.
Build
around them guys.
Awesome. So kind of tying into that, and you can expand on that, but the second question is tied in. This is from Jimbo via Substack. Will Alec Bohm be on the Phillies on Christmas morning? Yes or no?
He'll be with Seattle.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, team and all. Check him out.
Yeah,
I'm going to say no, too.
Okay, bold. All right. Boys, this was a really fun one. I'm glad you guys kept it civil during that six-man rotation debate. I'm sure we'll be having that a lot on this show. But let's end the show like we always do on this day in Phillies history.
Six-man rotation debate.
So on this day, November 18th, 1999, Chris was 9-year-old boy.
Yep.
Or I'm sorry, 7-year-old boy. It was 1997. The Phillies traded Kevin Stocker to the Rays.
Kevin Stocker.
For who?
Kevin Stocker to the Rays. Hold on, I know this.
Travis Lee.
No, he came over in the Kurt Schilling deal.
Is it? It's not Bobby Abreu, is it?
Bobby Baseball.
Bobby Baseball. Good pull by me. There you go.
And then we got some other birthdays, Phillies birthdays. Yep. Former Jamie Moyer.
Shout out.
Moyer, 1962, so he's 62 years old today. We got Flash Gordon.
Nice.
And I have no idea who that is.
There are two borderline Hall of Famers. I mean,
who?
I'm not sure Jamie Moore's. Well, Flash Gordon. If there was a B-class Hall of Fame, that's them. B-class.
I thought you were going to say
they're beyond notable.
Like Bobby
Hall of
Baseball,
Famers, but they're beyond notable.
Hall of Famers should be, and then I thought you were maybe the other one.
Guys, speaking of Hall of Famers, we're gonna have a nice Hall of Famer episode coming up. That's a little teaser. So, guys, this was a very fun episode. Tune in next week, and we will see you then.
Like.